I'm Kelly.
I'm Rich.
And we are Wonderbus Adventures. On this week, we are going to be doing some odds and ends jobs that just need doing.
Yeah.
I'm going to start work on that naughty windscreen, and I'm also going to show you one of our classic minis, which I know some of our viewers would be really happy about because you've been asking us.
Hope you enjoy. Leave your comments down below. Now, on one side of my van, you might remember, I riveted up the cable ties and they've stayed as you'd expect. On this side, I didn't think ahead and forgot to put riveted ones along this side, and I stuck outdoor ones on and they've fallen off, so I'm going to make some new ones. What I've decided to do is make some using that VHB tape that is supposedly weather resistant, supposedly strong enough to hold kilos and kilos of weight per 30 centimeters, so it should be fine for this. It's a little test really, I guess, because a lot of people stick their solar panels down with this stuff. So if it's fallen off in a few weeks time holding grams worth of cable, I'll let you know. And then what I'm going to do here is actually just drill a few more holes and rivet some in there because I can. Obviously I can't really do it there because the solar panels are there, and I don't want to drill through into the solar panels for fear of hitting the element on top. So yeah, I'm going to run that cable now and then we can finally get all of the LED lights hooked up.
We are now officially wiring up our little side lights, aren't we, Rose?
No, you said red.
Yeah.
You said red.
The last light on the roof I need to hook up is this front floodlight, and it's the most simple of them all, but I'm no wiring expert, but things that you're going to need for this, so you're going to need cable clippers, you're going to need these cable strippers. So these ones cost about a tenner, but they're much better than sort of dinosaur type ones, but these are good for the big fatter bits up here, which I'll show you in a minute. Other things you're going to need your soldering iron. So I bought a new soldering iron. It wasn't very expensive, about 20 quid, where I can control the temperature on it. You're going to need some solder, and you're going to need some heat shrink. Now I've got two sizes of heat shrink here. I'm going to use this glue lined heat shrink over both, and then I'm going to put this bigger piece over the whole thing. Now putting this through experience and gritted teeth, put this bit on first before you forget to do it, and slide it all the way out of the way, so when you're heating up your rest of your heat shrink or your soldering, it doesn't shrink it. Again, learned through experience. You'll probably be like, yeah, that's a very simple tip, and it is, but I got it wrong. So I'm going to do that now. And then what you end up with is probably a prettier version of this. A nice strong connection. So you can see that I can't move that part. I could probably leave it like that if I wanted to, if it was indoors. I'm obviously not going to. I'm going to solder this in a second. Last one installed. Now give them a test run once you've got the batteries back in.
Cheers. Welcome to Lily and Mummy Adventures. And this video today is about bees. Bees are super awesome. I'm going to look for a bee and then I will show you guys.
We think we have figured out how you get the little door card bit out for recovering. Can you see it? Look at it. We were like, well, it must be clipped in, but what you actually do is push these out. You see? I pushed them all out. Well, I lied. Rich did these 3 because I couldn't do it.
They're stiff.
Yeah, it was a stiffy. Right, I'm working on the door. As you can see, I'm just starting to sandpaper these back because they were really rough, and they've now gone a bit softer and smoother because we're going to fill these holes, and then I'm going to also sand along here because it's all going to be recovered. This is going to be behind the new door handle though, but as you can see they're really sharp and hard. So onto that. I think these ones are done. They seem quite flat.
Go.
Racing.
This is called Genelite plastic stick. It's like an 2-part epoxy. We've used it on some of our other plastic parts. And what are we using it for?
Filling the holes on our door.
You gotta mix it together until it's like light blue, like almost like a blue tack colour, I would say. So that's what we're doing now, and then we're gonna fill those holes.
And we're racing.
So we've got barbecue on, the red door card here, Kelly here. I'm just gonna push this into these little holes. So this is just from where we mentioned it before in a previous video. The coach company have just put like, I don't know, 30 screws through here to try and hold the handle on.
It's bad.
And we're going to try and recover this. Before we do, we're going to fill these holes so you can't see it through it. Just hope. Okay, today's the day. Luke is coming to start on the windscreen, so I'm just going to unfill the bus. Weirdly going to hoover out all of the old rust that's in there. Sounds strange, doesn't it? But I'll show you what I mean. And then we're going to crack on with it. Right, this is what we're dealing with, just as a little reminder. Along here, there should be a lip that comes up, and then they can hold the windscreen in. Here's part of it here. And then this bit here should be built up to then join onto the back of that lip. And it's kind of all gone, like, completely. Well, there's a few inches of it here left. And that's, you know, that explains why the windscreen was so leaky. We've got to take these front sort of panels off so they go over the A-pillars. The first thing I had to do was take these screws out. There's one here and one here. Now on the other side, which I'll show you in a minute, that is not going to be possible yet because of the fiberglass piece that's over it. But these are bonded on as well, so we need to carefully lever that on. We're just drilling out these all the way up to here. So I'm just going through and doing some pilot holes, and then Luke's coming through and doing the bigger, aren't you, mate? We're gonna bag this rust up and sell it to you. You know, let us know how much you'd pay for it. So I've been drilling out pilot holes for Lukey boy, and he's now going through with a larger spot weld drill. So hopefully we can remove the frame. Now the new frame is here, and he's tasked me with something that he has assured me I cannot mess up. But it is very important that we do it. Let me show you. We're going to cut up here just above this, well, below this seam line, and use all of this section along the side and all of the bottom. We cut this corner off here as well, and then he's going to join it there. But what we need to do to be able to join that up is add some holes through it so we can spot weld it back in place. What I'm going to use is a joggler, which also has a punch in it. hibernating in the garage a little bit. Very noisy. So next job, now that I've punched those holes, is to just sand back that part, because we can't weld through the E-coat. So I'm going to sand that back with a flat disc, back to bare metal, ready to be plug welded. That's my next job. Hopefully you can hear me. If not, I'll voice over this.
Doesn't help there's 5 million tons of sealer on there either.
At least it's not 5 million tons.
Yeah, that's true. There we go.
Ta-da! Yeah, look at that under there. It's all right. It's not bad at all.
No, not at all, really. This should just pull off pretty much.
Why didn't it all look like that? Yeah, look at that. That was some top drilling from me there, I reckon.
Yeah, that was all you, that was.
Wednesday morning, I'm just taking all of the sheets off the van. Today we're going to crack on at removing the last of the dead windscreen surround and offering up the new one. So the new panel, second skin as it were, that comes over the front has basically been all removed from the bottom here, ground away by Luke. And that's why we've got all these divots here. Now, thankfully, we've only got a couple of major spots that need repairing the panel that was behind it. So this side, obviously, a little bit here, and a little bit around the wiper motor. And then when we put the new screen surround on, that does come down and cover the majority of this as well. To just put that strength back in it. So it could have been a lot worse on this back panel, which is great. I'm going to clear all this out now just before Luke gets here. We've just got a clean run at it, we can see what else might need to be cleaned back. Yeah, that's all that quite cleared out. Just going to granulate all of this. So we're going to granulate it now and before grinding even more. Just so, you know, the stuff that's already ground, it can take anything out of there. And then we'll be doing a bit more grinding back before we weld it up. And Luke's got this really clever copper weld through primer that we're going to spray all along the back between the sections before we weld it up, so we know that it's protected in there. And then, you know, we're obviously going to overcoat it all in paint. I've got some special paint on its way to show you for that, and then we're going to be filling it all eventually with loads of wax. And again, I'll show you how to do that. This panel here, which has a big bird poo on it, is the scuttle panel that goes on the front of all of this stuff that we're repairing. Now it comes in an E-coat that I'm going to scuff back now with some Scotch Brite. And then I've got a couple of areas where it's been in storage, it's just dirt, where there's a couple of little scratches on the top. So I'm going to make sure I prime this as well. The scuttle's been acid etched just on the areas where we had just some tiny scratches and stuff. And then what I'm going to use is this FX liner. So this is from a company called Buzzweld. It's smooth, and basically is the bed liner, so their own bed liner. So think U-Pole Raptor. So that's painted. You've got to give it 24 hours to harden, which I'll have plenty of time for that. I've also painted the wiper bracket, which goes underneath this. I'll show you that all bolted back up when we put it back together. So this was actually really rusty, as you can see in the pop-up now. Luke took that away very kindly, shot blasted it for us, etch primed it. We have got like a few divots on the front where that rust was, but it is no longer, and this part is so thick that it will definitely go again, and we've protected it now so it won't rust again as well.
Victory is mine.
I don't know.
Okay.
Buy that, 40 quid if you want it.
Yeah.
Let me know.
That's it.
Next, we ground back all of the metal and primed it with that copper primer.
Love bit again.
Doing his CAD. Got away with this largely because we've only got a couple of holes that we need to repair. We didn't get away with this bit though. This is what Luke is looking forward to the most.
You've ruined my life.
Always laughing. The weather has turned on us, and it looks like it's going to be rain for the next few hours. I've said this on past videos, but I'm just going to reiterate. And I don't know, it's like a semi-apology, but explanation. So our build is really different, I think, from if you bought a newer van. In that there's loads of just little menial tasks that ends up eating away at sort of 10 minutes here, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, sometimes hours. And you're probably thinking, why the lack of progress? And I just wanted to explain. So I've just spent like 20 minutes just digging out sealant from down in this gap. If you've got a bus conversion like ours, this part of the bus, this is all dirt on here, is made of fiberglass. Down here, when you remove the pillar trim, you'll find that this is full of sealant to bond it into place and to stop, you know, this panel leaking. And to get that out has taken ages, but you have to do it. So the A panel is off now. You can see that it was screwed here and here. And what we had to do was cut them off because there was no way of accessing those screws. So when we put that back on, we will bond that into place along the new pillar that's going over this, and then fill this entire area. Fill this entire area with sealant. So yeah, we tend to show this sort of stuff, that we have to do it just in case anyone is going to think about doing the same thing. Also, hopefully you don't find it too boring, but this is just what we get up to. We've put the wheel stud in now, and we realised that we didn't record it. So in short, what we did is got a plumber's torch, and Luke heated up the hub for sort of several minutes until it was really hot. And then I got a gardening glove, other mitt would work I guess, and pushed the new stud in from the back just so it was in the entrance of the hole. And we bashed it through with a hammer as far as it would go, just gently. It went in quite easily actually because the metal had been expanded by that heat. Put a bunch of old washers over it, put a nut on, tightened it up, and it pulled it through. And we managed to install it that way with absolutely no bother at all. We didn't need to remove the hub, and it's in there nice and tight, because what will happen is when that heat dissipated, the hub would have contracted around the new lug, and it's in there tight as can be. So we did it, that's how we did it, and the wheel's now back on. Happy days. This is the frame offered up to the vehicle, ready to be primed and build the back.
There is collecting shells. What you got so far there?
These ones.
Oh, that's a cool one.
I found it.
Just open your hand then so we can see. Wow.
I don't know wet sound.
Wow.
Cuttlefish.
Lil, look at this. Take this home for the birds.
Let me have a look.
Cuttlefish. You can hang it up in the tree for the birdies.
Yeah. Put it in your rack. I'll do it, should I? Give you what?
Is it a shell?
It's fish.
Luke is coming back tomorrow. Just going to spend some time clearing this back to see how much we're going to have to replace, because the top of the windscreen isn't as bad as the bottom was, but there is going to be some repairs that need to be made up here, especially in this area here where the leak had been originating from, really. And then we've got a bit in the middle as well that's not too clever, but I'm going to clean it up now to see how bad that is with a flap disc. This is a flap disc. Essentially it's very rough grit overlapped sanding disc, and this thing's vicious. So I used these to clean up my whole chassis in a previous video, and I'm going to use this now to clean this back up here. Just need to make sure you get a good grip on this. Right, I'm fed up with grinding, so I'm going to get the Mini out and wash that. I didn't get around to MOTing it this week, which is a bit gutting, so this is the next best thing. And this is our 1996 Rover Mini. So since we've owned it, which was around 2012, we've had the wheel arches replaced. We've had all of the sills replaced underneath, the whole front end replaced, and it's been resprayed. And it's been in the garage for well over a year now without being used, and it's collected quite a lot of dust in that time. I did see a mouse run out of it as well, which is not fun. So today we're going to give it a clean, and then I'll do a bit of a walk around to show you how we've modified this. Just a short one though, and if people like it, we can do a bigger drive out in it in another video. In the front, I replaced the original dash, which was just a binnacle over in this corner, which is 2 clocks, with a 3 clock dash, and the gauges in the middle. So we've got oil pressure, voltmeter, and a clock, which is all disconnected at the moment, and a carbon fibre dash, and the world's smallest little glove box in there. And I covered the top with some sort of suede-like material. Door cards have still yet to do. Just got some cheap Union flags over at the moment. Fitted these in here, so we've got quite a good sound system in here actually. So I've got focal components here, tweets in the dashboard, and then in the back, so we've got leather seats in the back. In the back underneath here, I've got 4 6.5-inch subwoofers, and I made this box under here sealed. So we've got leather seats here, Union flag on the back, and then these bad boys, my Recaros, in front seats. These are heated as well, ready to go. So yeah, that's just a little whistle stop tour of my Mini, the blue one. When we get an MOT, we can show you a little bit more if that's of interest.
We hope you loved our Mini, and if you'd like to see more of it, let us know. And we could also do a video on our Mini pickup if that would interest you. It's from 1979.
That's right, I remembered.
It's the one thing I remember about it.
Next time we're going to be finishing off the windscreen and hopefully getting it put back in. So
Fingers crossed.
yeah, hopefully this week. So yeah, wish us well. We wish you well. Hope you have a really good week.
Keep safe. See you next week, hopefully. 1, 2, 3.
Bye.